welcome back to my channel. For those who don't know me, my name is Katharine, and in today's video, I'm taking you through a week in my life as a full-time DoorDasher. For those who don't know, DoorDash is a delivery service, specifically of food, but you can also order groceries on DoorDash as well. And I'm currently at the stage in my life where I'm in a transitional time period where I don't know what I want to do next in my life. I do have my bachelor's degree, and I want to see if I want to continue in the way that I'm going of what I studied in college, or if I want to go back to school to get my master's degree, or just change my career entirely. I don't know what I want to do. I'm very confused, and I hope some of you can relate to that. I did have a full-time job quite recently, but I've decided for financial reasons and also just for my own sanity that I wanted to leave that job and just do DoorDash full-time, because DoorDash does provide me as a driver delivering all of this food the flexibility to not only make decent money to pay my bills, but it also provides me with my own schedule so that if I want to go to school or go to interviews for a new job, I can do that. But that's kind of my life right now. I am trying just to figure out what I want to do next, and DoorDash is giving me the opportunity to slow down and really think about what I want to do next in my life. And if you're going through something similar to me, please know that you're not alone. I am just figuring out what I want to do with the rest of my life. I'll be 29 in July, and I feel like I have the whole life in front of me, and I just want to make sure that I'm making the right decisions for me in my career. I first of all want to have a job that supports me financially, but I also want to find a job that I enjoy doing. And that's what I've been struggling with over the past few years. Like, it's either like I find a job that's financially unstable but I like, or I find a job that's financially stable that I don't like, or what am I trying to say? Or it's both, like it's both financially unstable and I also don't like it. So I'm just trying to find that happy medium of like a job that I like and also pays me well. So that's that. At the time of filming this, it is Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to you all. I know it's well past Easter when I'm posting this, so I hope you've had a great Easter. I went to church this morning with my parents. I also went out to breakfast with them as well, and I'm currently sitting in the parking lot of the movie theater. I'm going to go see the new King of Kings movie, which is by Angel Studios. It's a Christian production company, and it's literally just about the life of Jesus. It's an animated movie. My parents already went to go see it, so they're not with me right now, but they highly recommended it. So here I am on Easter Sunday. I feel like it's the perfect timing to watch this movie. So let's head in there. So I just got out of seeing King of Kings. It was super cute, highly recommend. The only issue that I actually had with the movie itself was the animation. It sometimes like would lag in like the dialogue aspect, like the animation just didn't match up with the talking, if that makes sense, or the animation sometimes seemed a little off. But I feel like that's how it is with a lot of like Christian movies. Like, it's sad to say because I want all Christian movies to be at the level of like animation and cinematography of like secular movies, but I guess it's just a very stereotypical like aspect of Christian animation and movies in general that they're like not up to like the secular realm of cinematography and animation. But we'll get there one day, I hope and pray, because I think to really like capture the attention of people who are not Christians, I think we should have the best of the best, just so that we can say like, hey, this is what we can offer you. Like, although like being a Christian is about sacrifice and like following Jesus and him dying on the cross for our sins, like I think being our best in every aspect, even if we get persecuted, that is like what we aim for. And that comes to like animation and cinematography. Like it says even in the Bible, like do all that you do unto the glory of God. And like I think that means like how I see it is like bringing our best to God. And when these animators or these directors or producers or cinematographers, like when they're doing their job, I really hope and pray that they're bringing their best to their job and to make the best movies possible. But that's like the only qualm I had with the movie, is like sometimes like the animation wasn't like on par with like the dialogue, or just like the animation in general, like sometimes the way they would move, it seemed a little bit choppy, if that makes sense. But overall, like it was a great movie. I gave it 9.5 out of 10 stars. So apart from like the animation aspects, that's all I had problems with. And I think that it's definitely a must-see, especially if you have children. I mean, I just went by myself and I'm 28 years old and I really enjoyed it. But I think that especially if you have kids, you would enjoy it even more. But anyways, enough of the movie business. I am going to be door dashing for the rest of the day, and I'll take you along with me. So I'm currently in CVS right now because I just got a DoorDash order that a customer needs some Mucinex. So I'm gonna go deliver that to a customer now. Howdy everyone, I just wanted to come on and check in with you. I am driving, but I'm being safe. I'm gonna try not to look at the camera and pay attention to the road. But I did deliver that CVS order, and then I did a few more orders. I just didn't film it because I was like too caught up in the moment of like doing the orders. And when you get into like a rhythm of doing the orders, you kind of just go with it. And that's just normally how it goes. I love DoorDash for that reason, because like I love the aspect of like a fast-paced environment, and it makes the time go by so much faster. On average, I make about $25 an hour, which is phenomenal. I make about $800 to $1,000 a week doing it full time, which is paying my bills right now, which is great. But another thing is like you only get paid for the orders that you do. Like even if like you're technically like online for being available for doing like DoorDash, there sometimes won't be orders coming in. It just depends on like the demand of people ordering from DoorDash. And then what you'll do is like on the delivery side, like on the app that I use for deliveries, it'll pop up with a notification and you can accept an order once it becomes available, if that makes sense. I like doing like the shopping type orders where I can go to CVS, Walgreens, grocery stores. I just feel like those ones are more relaxed and I can really like take my time doing them. Not really take my time, of course I have to deliver it to the people, but I feel like it's more in my control. Whereas like if I'm picking up from a restaurant, it's really on the restaurant's, I guess it's on the responsibility, or I guess it's the responsibility of the restaurant is what I'm trying to say, to make sure the order is ready for when I come to pick it up. And so there's some variables there, like when I show up to a restaurant, I never know if it's ready for me to pick it up until I get there. I have had some problems where like DoorDash sends me there like really early, and like I'm like, why did DoorDash send me to this restaurant so early when I'm going to be waiting here for like 10, 15, 20 minutes for an order to be ready? It's kind of interesting how that is, because I've worked at restaurants where like DoorDash is being delivered, and from like the restaurant side, you have to put in like a time when it's available for pickup. And I feel like DoorDash's like algorithm doesn't make sense, because even if a restaurant puts in that their order is not ready for like say 30 minutes, they'll still send like a DoorDash delivery person like at the 20-minute mark. Does that even make sense? And then the DoorDash delivery person's waiting there for that 10 extra minutes until like that 30 minutes is up for the food to be ready. So I definitely prefer like shopping for orders like at grocery stores and like pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens much better. I don't mind doing the restaurants, but there is just like an added variable of like waiting at the restaurant that's just kind of out of my control as a delivery driver. But yeah, I did a few more orders for today doing DoorDash. I don't think I'm gonna do any more. I usually try to set a goal for myself each week to make at least $800, and because it's Sunday, I have made that $800 mark already. And I'm just gonna head home, because like why like stress myself out even more with it being Easter and everything. Like I want to just relax at home. So if I make more than $800, like great, but I'm the type of person right now, because it's Easter, where like if I make that $800 mark, like might as well just go home. So I'm just gonna go home and relax, probably do some laundry, and then just call it a night. But I'll check in with you later. So it is the next day. I got up, went on a run, got ready and had my breakfast, and I'm considered available or like online for DoorDash. I actually just got an order to do a Starbucks run, so we're gonna do that together. I also want to do a couple other things today, including getting my oil changed and getting my car professionally detailed. So like having someone legitimately like clean my car, because from when I bought it like a year and a half ago, it's a used car, and I don't know who owned it the last time, but there are like literal stains on my like carpet in my car, like on the floor and like on the chairs and things, like the seating in my car. And I honestly don't know what the stains are from, and I'm kind of skeptical of what it is. So I really want to get it clean so that like when I'm working from my car and like driving all over the place, at least I know like the space that I'm working in is clean, and like I can actually know that I'm not smelling in anything like toxic or anything. So I'm gonna do those two things today: oil change and getting my car professionally cleaned or professionally detailed, whatever you want to call it. But let's head to Starbucks first to do this order for DoorDash. Coming to you again with another driving clip. I swear I'm being safe, so don't worry, I have my eyes on the road. But I wanted to come on here to mention that like I love doing DoorDash because it gives me the flexibility to create my own schedule, and then I feel like I'm my own boss because technically I am. When I fill out like my tax documents and when I get my like tax forms back to do my taxes, I get a 1099 form back like in January when all the tax documents become ready, and that's the form that like a lot of business owners get and private contractors. So technically, like, I'm considered a private contractor for DoorDash. And also, like, just working alone is great. Like, for the most part, I would say like 80 to 90% of the orders I get, they choose the option for me to just leave the orders at their door. The other like 10 to 20% is like either like the alcohol orders where I actually have to hand the customer their order so that I could scan their ID, or they want me to actually hand it to them because they like are at work or something and they're worried about people stealing their food. So I get that. Like, I don't mind handing it to orders. I don't mind handing orders to customers, but 80 to 90% of the orders is just me leaving it at their door, and then I have to like take a picture. And honestly, like, I love that because the only people I like truly have to interact with on like a normal basis is like either like the restaurants or the grocery stores or the pharmacies that I have to go to. And that's like not a huge issue for me. It's just like really just me waiting for the order or shopping for an order. And there's like not a ton of interaction with this job, which is great. Like, I love working alone. Like, I know a lot of businesses like when people are like team players and stuff, but like I'm finding out like the more I work like in an office situation or on a team, like I am not that way. Like, I love working by myself because like all I have to worry about is like being responsible for my own work, if that makes sense. And occasionally I will get like a restaurant or like a customer that is like super needy or like being super rude, but that's like with any job, like you're gonna have to deal with people who are like super needy or rude and are just not nice to you, but like that's very rare. And I am very grateful that I have the opportunity to do DoorDash full time while I have the flexibility and the opportunity to look for another job. But anyways, yeah, I'm just doing DoorDash right now, like I have been mentioning, and I'm currently listening to, if you couldn't already tell, I have my earbud in. I like to listen to a lot of podcasts and like audiobooks when I'm doing DoorDash because it passes the time. Like, for me, like I can only listen to so much music or so much radio when I'm doing DoorDash because I can only listen to so many songs and then I get sick of it. But currently I'm reading or listening to the third and final book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which is The Return of the King. I believe that's what it's called, but it's by J.R.R. Tolkien, if you're not familiar. I'm like not a big fantasy reader, which I'm discovering. I know like the Lord of the Rings and J.R.R. Tolkien, or Tolkien, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, are like the father of fantasy, and it's like the foundation of fantasy. Like, the trilogy, The Lord of the Rings, is like the foundation of fantasy, and like J.R.R. Tolkien is considered like the father of fantasy. So I know this like trilogy is like really widely beloved, but I'm just realizing like fantasy is just not for me. And like, I appreciate the Lord of the Rings trilogy for what it is. Like, I'm definitely enjoying like the vibes. Like, I'm enjoying like hearing the descriptions of like the food and like the landscape, but like I just could care less about like all of the adventures that they're going on. It just is not fun to me. But I'm glad that I'm finishing out the series, the trilogy, I mean, and just saying that I read it to have read it. Do you know what I mean? Read it to have read it. I don't know what the correct terminology or pronunciation of that, but I'm basically trying to say that like I just want to read the trilogy to say that I have read it. But yeah, now I'm just sitting here waiting for another DoorDash order to come into me, and I'm listening to my audiobook in the meantime. The one thing is if you're doing DoorDash or Uber Eats or any sort of like food delivery service, like don't get discouraged if you don't get like orders right away. As long as you sit by like what's called these like hot spots, which is like where all of the popular restaurants and places to order from are. As long as you sit around that area, like, you're bound to get orders. Like, be patient, you will make money. But yeah, just gonna sit here until I can get another order. Hi, I know it's only been a few seconds for you, but it's been quite a while for me since I last checked in. I did a few more orders, but I wanted to rant and rave a little bit as I'm on my way to another order. I really don't like how DoorDash like assigns area sections, like map area sections, to DoorDash delivery drivers, because like it just like doesn't make sense like whatsoever. Like, I don't understand why there has to be sections for the map anyway. Like, I could be assigned to like a certain town or a certain like neighborhood, and then if you go outside of that like map area, it basically says that you can't take orders like in another area that you just delivered to. I don't know if that makes sense at all, but like it just really annoys me. That's like one of the things that really is a big pet peeve of mine, like for DoorDash. I'm sorry if this video was kind of chaotic and all over the place. I didn't really like have a rhyme or reason or a clear plan of like what I wanted to show you. I just wanted to show you kind of like live time, and if things came up I would just like talk about it. But if you have like specific questions about DoorDash or like delivery driving in general, please leave it down below in the comments, and maybe I can do like a Q&A of like delivery driving, specifically like about DoorDash, because that's what I have most experience with. But yeah, leave your comments down below or questions down below, and maybe I can do a Q&A about this specific type of job. Also like to do when I'm doing DoorDash all day long is I like to actually pack like my lunches and dinners in like my lunch bag, so that way when I'm like out DoorDashing like legitimate food and I'm smelling all of this good food, I don't feel tempted to like eat the customer's orders. So I just pack my own lunches and dinners. So pro tip, if you ever do DoorDash or any other type of food delivery service, definitely pack your own food. Since I just finished my lunch, I wanted to mention this. I don't know if I've shown this in prior clips in this video, but I have my lunch bag and all future orders that I get for DoorDash in this like little tiny like pink container that I have. It's supposed to be for my cat, where I can hook her up to the harness and put her in here, but I sometimes use it for DoorDash so that the orders don't go all over the place in my car. Oil change time. Crossing my fingers that it doesn't take long this time, because the last time I was here for literally like 2 hours when I should have been here for max like 30 minutes. So pray for me. So as you can clearly see, it is dark out. I did quite a few orders after I got my oil changed, and I made about $200 tonight, like just under $200, like $197. And I'm pretty happy about that. I was kind of getting discouraged when it got to like the halfway point throughout the day, which was when I got the oil change, because I expected to be making more money at that point. But when the nighttime came and people were ordering their dinners, like I really made a lot more money. But anyway, I'm heading home now because I'm exhausted, and tomorrow's a new day doing DoorDash and other things. I wasn't able to get my like car detailed, like a full like cleaning of the inside of my car. I think that might be a priority for tomorrow, but until then, I'll see you later. Hi, it is the next day. I clearly just got out of Marshall's. I'm literally just walking around trying to wait for my car to be out of the car wash. I am getting it detailed today. I know I was supposed to, or meaning to, get it done yesterday, but the time just flew by and I wasn't able to do that. I did get my oil changed yesterday, as you saw, but didn't get my car detailed, but it's getting detailed now. I went to the gym this morning and then headed to the car wash like straight after that, because I know they would have been busy like later on and not been able to take my car for detailing. So I'm glad I'm getting that done, and I'm just waiting for them to call me to say that my car is finished, and then I'll do some door dashing later. Another thing that I was reminded of is I want to ask for my receipt for when they're done detailing my car, because I can actually use that as a tax write-off, as like a deduction. So I use this app called Gridwise. I'll tag it down below in the description. But if you're ever interested in like doing any sort of like food delivery service or like ride sharing service, definitely download Gridwise, where they can like track your miles, and you can actually deduct like the mileage on your car from your taxes each year. And then you can also insert things like gas and any sort of other deductions on your car. Like if I ever have to get maintenance done on my car, like an oil change, or I have to replace my tires, or, you know, get my car cleaned like I'm doing now, you can actually write that off as like a tax deduction, because technically, as I mentioned yesterday, you are considered like a private contractor for DoorDash or like any other like ride sharing app or food delivery app like Uber or Lyft. You can actually use those items, like those little things that you pay for, like gas and oil changes and cleaning of your car and your miles and stuff, as tax deductions, because you're considered a private contractor. Like you're basically your own boss, and you get that 1099 form at the end of each tax year, and you can use like the receipts and stuff as deductions. So definitely check out Gridwise, because that's where you can like track everything and then print it out for your tax guy, your accountant, or if you do your own taxes, you can obviously see all of the itemized receipts like through the app or website Gridwise. I personally have a family friend who's an accountant, so he actually gives me a discount on doing my taxes every year. And being that I do DoorDash, my taxes are a little bit more complicated because I'm technically a private contractor and I'm like my own boss. So like doing taxes on like TurboTax can be a little bit more complex. So I usually let him do it and just like pay that one-time fee for him to do it, because it just makes it easier on me, and I don't mess anything up. But yeah, that's one tip I have, is to basically track everything on Gridwise, including your mileage, any sort of gas, or any sort of like other service related fees that may be associated with you driving, like oil changes, any other maintenance on your car, or even like getting your car cleaned. Anything to do with your car, track it so that you can write it off as a deduction. My car is officially clean and done. It smells so nice in here, and I am just so happy that I got this done. It was a little bit expensive, but it was worth it. This is something that I probably would only get once in a while done, but I'm so glad I did it. I have not gotten a like proper like deep clean of this car since I bought it. This is a used car, obviously, because that's what I could afford at the time, and I just wanted to get it deep cleaned ever since I bought it, because of the fact that I didn't know who owned it before me, and there were like these huge stains on the like seats and everything. Granted, right now the reason why that there's like this like plastic covering over my seat right now is that the seats are still a little bit wet. Like they shampooed the seats and like the carpets on the floor, and they vacuumed everything, cleaned everything, and like armoralled everything, and it just smells clean. That's like the one thing that I love, is like, you know it's clean when it smells clean. But anyways, I'm gonna do some more DoorDash now. obviously the next day. I've been doing DoorDash this morning, and now I'm having my lunch. Like I mentioned before in this video, I always like to pack my lunch and dinner so that like when I'm out door dashing and I don't have any orders, I can at least eat. But yeah, I am just doing DoorDash for the day. I went on a run this morning and then just took off doing DoorDash for the rest of the day. And yeah, I just wanted to check in with you. I also wanted to mention that I finished listening to The Return of the King, which is the third book in the Lord of the Rings series. I gave it a 3 stars. I'll give more thoughts on that in my April reading wrap up. And then I've started listening to Don't Waste Your Life by John Piper, and it's okay so far, but that's what I'm currently reading or listening to via audiobooks during my time during doing DoorDash. I don't even know if that's a sentence, but I'm listening to that audiobook while I'm doing DoorDash is what I'm trying to say. So I haven't really checked in with you guys at all after lunchtime. Like I didn't show you any of me doing like any of the DoorDash orders, but I'm probably gonna head home now just because I feel like it's been kind of a slow day, and it is my dad's birthday, so I'm just gonna go home and celebrate with him. I made about $140 today, which is not bad, but also it's like not what I was aiming for. I can make upwards of like $200 plus per day doing this. But anyways, I finished the Don't Waste Your Life book by John Piper. I'm going to hold you right here because we're going up a hill. Here we go. I'm trying to hold on to you. But anyway, I gave it like a 3 stars, the Don't Waste Your Life by John Piper. It wasn't good and it wasn't bad. Like in the book, it basically just described things that I already like agreed with and already knew. That's kind of like why I have issues with reading like Christian living books, is because like I feel like a lot of the stuff that is in Christian living books are like things that I already know. I'm gonna hold on to you once again because I'm going up this little hump. But anyway, let me put this in park. But anyways, yeah, I just have a problem with like Christian living books because like a lot of the time it's stuff I already know. And plus, the reason why, like, I didn't rate it higher than 3 stars as well is, like, it came off as, like, legalistic in a way. And granted, I do consider myself, like, more of, like, a Reformed Christian, if you know what I mean, or if you know what that is. So I definitely agreed with a lot of the things that he was saying, because I think John Piper, like, considers himself, like, a Reformed Christian. But the main problem that I had with, like, Reformed Christianity in general, and why I'm so hesitant to like say that I'm Reformed, is although I agree with a lot of the sentiments in like being a Reformed Christian, a lot of the times it can come off as like really insensitive and like clinical and very like, I don't know what the terminology is for it, like legalistic. I don't know if that's correct terminology, but I just find it sometimes like very like distant and cold. So that's part of the reason why I gave it 3 stars as well. But anyways, I'm now listening to Anne of the Island, which is the 3rd Anne of Green Gables series. Like the 3rd book in the Anne of Green Gables series is what I'm trying to say. And I'm really enjoying it. It's by L.M. Montgomery, if you're not familiar. And I already feel like a really large connection to this book series already because my grandmother's family is from Prince Edward Island, which is where, if I can speak English today, where the Anne of Green Gables series takes place. And then my grandfather's family is from Nova Scotia, which is like an island just right next to Prince Edward Island. So I'm like pretty much like Canadian. Not really. But anyways, I'm really enjoying it so far, and I'll check in with you probably tomorrow. I'm gonna probably call it a night, but thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. It is the next day. I just got out of the gym, and now I'm going to wait for some DoorDash orders to come in. I marked myself as available and like online for doing DoorDash deliveries. So let's get myself into some orders. is the next day. I went on a run this morning, had my breakfast, and now I'm good to go. I don't have any orders yet to do, but I did mark myself online or like available on the DoorDash app, so I could get an order at any point, but I'm gonna see if I can make the $800 mark today. Realistically, like I try to at least make like $800 in a single week doing like any food delivery service, including DoorDash. And if I make more than $800, then that's amazing, but I at least bare minimum like to make $800 in a week. And I'm currently at like $620-ish that I've made so far this week, and that means I only have like $180 left to make to hit that $800 mark. So realistically, I could probably do that today, just depending on how busy it is. It is Friday, so like technically like I could make that much because it is a Friday. I feel like a lot of people order food on Fridays, so we'll see. If I don't make the $800 mark today, I'm mostly certainly gonna be able to make that tomorrow on Saturday. So let's see what I get myself into today. So I've officially made $800 for the week, and I'm rewarding myself with some Holy Cow ice cream. It's a really popular ice cream spot here where I live, and I got Chai of the Tiger. I've been wanting to try this certain flavor for a while. It's spiced chai ice cream loaded with house-made chocolate orange tiger bark, and that's what's on here on the top, is that tiger bark. But I'm excited to try this. Let's try it out together. If I can break this open, it's pretty hard to open. This is pretty good. I wanted to try it because like I love anything chai flavored. Like I love chai lattes. I love basically spiced anything, and I wanted to try this out. So this was a sweet treat for me, like a reward for me for making $100 this week on DoorDash. But yeah, that's gonna round out our video today. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched up until this far, please leave a car emoji down below in the comments. Again, if you have any questions about like DoorDash or like food delivery in general, please let me know and I can do like a Q&A video for that. But anyways, do all the YouTube things that you know how to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!